What's up, man? Welcome to Oaks Avenue. I'm Andile van Boksburg.
I'm Josie Boy van Ramberg.
And yeah, we've got some spooky stories for you guys. We found a Reddit thread filled with some like South African spooky stories. So it's unique to us. And Josie's going to be reading out the different stories for us. So
Well, I think before we get into it, let's talk. We don't have a lot of well-filmed South African scary movie. We've got like some good locations. We've got, have you seen how many abandoned buildings there are there in town? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, remember when we did that project, our friend Keegan, his whole photography thing was going into abandoned buildings.
Oh, really?
And we've spoken about this on our podcast, but we have we spoke about the hospital in Kempton Park.
Yeah. Bro, I've seen a South African horror movie on Netflix. I don't know if you ever saw it.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, it was actually quite good, bro.
Okay, what was it about?
Had me on edge the whole time. It's called 8. I don't really know what to make of that horror movie. I watched it so long ago, and a lot of the details I've just lost them. But there's this family, they move into this house in the woods, in the middle of like a village somewhere. And then this old man comes along, is like, hi, sorry, do you mind if I just stay in your little... They had like a granny flat outside. Can I stay in that granny flat just for a night or whatever? And obviously how the woman's like, you can't let someone just stay in there. And the guy's like, it's fine. You can stay here for a week or whatever and work for us. And then this old man, he develops a relationship with the little girl that more of like a friendship.
Yeah.
And he's just, something's off about him, obviously. But he's some kind of, I don't know what he is, but he does dark magic, basically.
Okay.
Some African cultures say the Sangomas can talk to your ancestors.
Witch doctors.
That's just superstition, Mary.
It's not just superstition, it's real.
Enough about Sangomas before we all get nightmares.
I will protect you.
What's wrong?
There's something in the yard. Something strange.
Hey! I'm sorry. I just need to rest him. Letting him stay in the shed.
With walk on.
Hello?
With kwaye uyingozi. Mbuzo uthi banolandelayo.
But I think it was a well done movie. It's called 8. If you haven't seen it, go watch it on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on, but it was a really good horror movie. Very well production, everything's good.
I think the last South African horror movie I watched, and this was long ago, this was when I was very young, it was on ETV. It was called, I don't know if you ever watched it, Pinky Pinky.
They made a Pinky movie. I've never watched it.
There's a Pinky movie. It's a little hand that comes out of the toilet and it makes the girls have like miscarriages in the school and stuff, mayor stuff.
Was it good?
Man, I was young. When I was young, it scared the crap out of me. But I'm pretty sure if we were to go rewatch it now, we're probably going to see that hand was probably like really badly like CGI'd in and all that. And the acting was probably awful. But okay, 8. I'm keen on that.
Dude,
before we jump in this,
watch 8.
We have spoken about it, but I think a good recap. You have one spooky story that you told us about.
Oh yeah, Varus Makeup. A lot of people don't remember that ghost. I don't know how no one knows, but like I think growing up where I'm from, everyone knew of Varus Makeup. He's basically a guy that has no head. He walks around saying Varus Makeup. That's how adults used to scare us.
How's he saying it if he doesn't have a head?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I was also thinking about you told me the story when you were on a video call.
Oh yeah, man. I was on a video call with an ex, and while we were on that call, she said to me, "Who was that?" right? And obviously I'm like, who was who? It's like the person that just walked past behind you, and then I thought to myself, like she's just playing around, you know, trying to scare me. She's like, I really saw a woman walk past you, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, bro?
So she thought you were cheating.
Yeah, so she thought there was actually a woman there. And then I ended up having to like pan the camera around the room just to be like, yo, I promise you there is no one in here. Yo, dude, that was actually one weird encounter. But,
Yeah.
And you? Any?
I think the one I did talk about, we were all at our one friend's house. She used to let like everyone always come over to her. We used to throw parties there and stuff. And it was an old house there in Greenside. And we were all just sitting in a room and we were all chatting about stuff. And I think the power was out at that point. So we were having load shedding.
Yeah.
And someone just went, wait, can anyone hear that? So we all went quiet. We went, hear what? And she was like, no, there it is again. And we were like, nah, you crazy. And then as we said that, we just watched, there was a wine glass in the middle of the table and it just cracked perfectly all the way around the rim of it.
No way.
Like around the stem, so that you could literally pick up so it was a wine glass, you could literally pick up the glass section like perfectly off of the stem. And I don't know, there must have been a weird vibration going on the floor that girl could hear. And maybe that's because I don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, I don't either.
And I also think, when it comes to South African scary movies, I think South Africans were a bit more rational, which is probably why it wouldn't work. I think you'd move into a house and, you know, in movies, it's always like the kid will start like talking to something in the cupboard and the parents will be like, oh, that's weird. Oh, she's got an imaginary friend. I think here in South Africa, they'll be like,
yeah.
None of that. Come on, pack your stuff. All your stuff. All the lights must be on while we do this. We're getting in the car and we're leaving. But I think that's another reason. I think there in America, people are a bit more adventurous,
more open-minded.
Yeah, more ready to like investigate what's going on.
Yeah.
I think here we maybe believe more in spirits. That if we hear or see something, we're like, I'm not going in there. I'm not going into the dark room. I'm not checking the cupboard. Let's jump in. So this is on the Reddit South Africa group. The person who made the post was Technique Beats. And what he said is, or she said, I recently saw a post on this subreddit regarding sharing your funniest story that happened to you in South Africa. And I know there's a lot of spook stories out there. So share yours below. Adventurous Mood 5609, this is what they said. During our matric final exams, we decided to meet up on weekends and study. First time we went to the class was full of blood on the floor. We decided to go to another class.
Wait.
On a Monday, the place was spotless. We did the same the following week. Blood was all over the floor. We tried to look for signs like chicken feathers, anything to think it was an animal that was killed. Many felt it was human blood. We freaked out and left. On a Monday, the place was spotless again. We decided not to go there on weekends. So this is on weekend. They're going there on weekends to study, and they're opening the room and they're seeing this room's floor. There's just blood everywhere, and they're deciding, okay, we're not going to use this room. We're going to go use another room. And then they come back on Monday and the place is all cleaned up. Freaked out and left. On a Monday, the place was spotless again. We decided not to go there on weekends. The only thing that sticks with me now is why we didn't report this.
Yeah. Bro, that is something I would have reported, I think.
Yes, I think
because
so
like
too.
if I walk into a room and there's blood all over the place, I'm thinking, whoa. I mean, was there no adult at that school at the time? Like no other teachers? I mean, someone should have.
So let's see what people are asking.
Okay.
One of my ideas is, which I think is a bit of a lighter touch. I think maybe there was a fight club going on. And maybe like people were going there on a Saturday having a big fight club, and then whoever was involved would go there on Sunday night and clean up that whole room and everything and put it all back to normal.
It sounds unlikely.
Well, you would never know because the
Yeah.
first rule about Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club.
Oh, really?
So let's see what people say. So this person asks, did the school have vinyl floor tile? There is a polish used for those floors that looks a lot like blood. Could be what that was.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Mystery solved. That was very quick to solve.
Yeah, man, I hate that. I wish. Yeah, so now there's more. I think these are more folklore tales. But so this one says, definitely one of the most creepiest ones I know is about a snake that lives deep in a lake that mysteriously kills everyone that swims there, hence why they would blame all drownings that concur there on this specific snake. The locals believe the snake is evil-spirited and extremely large. I can't tell you exactly the name of the lake because the two separate videos that I've seen that mention the snake, I'm unable to find them, but the lake is in Limpopo, if I remember correctly. I think the creepiest thing about this piece of folklore for me is that it kind of has to be based on something, because giant snakes do exist and it's not impossible. Someone might have actually witnessed this large snake many years ago. Who knows?
A giant snake that basically eats people. How long do snakes live? I'm just wondering. Do you know?
Nah, I don't know.
I mean, do pythons live in water?
I think that more like muddy areas. But there's definitely river snakes. So I mean,
see, that's the problem with us. We very much we're so rational. We're like, yeah, it has to be a python or something. But some people are like, no, dude, that's a spirit. You know what I mean? Like, we already trying to rationalize.
But I already think there's river snakes and stuff, and I don't think it's one snake doing this, but there could be a certain breed of snake that lives in that lake, and if you swim in, you're gonna get bitten.
Those river snakes, are they big? Because the only snakes in South Africa, the huge ones, are not anacondas, pythons. We don't have anacondas here.
Okay, so this person says she's got so many stories. Friends from a small town in the Western Cape told the story of a house where a lady could not have children. She cursed the place and killed herself. Since then, if a child enters the house, weird things happen, like fires start and things move. Other stories from farms in Gauteng, a piano that would play itself, the reflection of a small child staring back in the mirror, the figure of a man standing next to a bed on a specific weekday and time, Boer War soldiers parading, and then...
So what, is this something that people see?
Yes, these are just all different stories that she's saying she's heard.
Wow.
And then every university resident had ghost stories. Ours was a pregnant girl who hanged herself, a figure in a white dress you would see turning the corner, a phantom bather, and a girl who died of meningitis.
Bro.
This bit was true. We had the newspaper clippings, who opened doors and moved things around in our old bedroom.
No, you're talking about Daily Sun. That's what they talk about when they say newspaper.
I'm sure.
Anything on Daily Sun.
Yes, boy. I love the fucking Daily Sun.
But that's the thing, bro. This person is just telling us the things that other people told her or him about. I want to hear their personal stories, you know. I saw this.
Well, this person, I grew up in a rural part of KZN. I remember when I was in primary school, we had an incident where the black students claimed that there was a tokolosh in the girls' toilets cloakroom. There were instances where the black... I don't know why he keeps mentioning black girls.
That's weird, eh?
Yeah. There were incidences where the black girls would run out of the bathroom claiming they saw it, and a few of them even passed out. The caretakers of the school even went in there to see if anyone was in there and possibly playing a prank on the girls, but they didn't find anyone. Oh, okay, so this is why he's mentioning the different races. He says, this only affected the black girls who were like 10 to 13 years old. The colored and Indian girls were never affected, but eventually everyone stopped using the cloakrooms. The caretakers did some sort of ritual in there to bless the place, but it took quite some time before the girls started using the cloakrooms down there. A couple weeks after that, a group of kids ran to the caretakers and said there's a possessed man sitting in the tree at the bottom of the grounds. I remember going down there and seeing the guy hiding in the tree. He was talking to himself and he was making weird sounds. Eventually, the caretakers got there, took their bush knives out, and chased them away. So he was actually there doing that.
Oh, serious? Okay.
And he says, I don't think he was actually possessed though. I think he was just drunk or high. The whites in his eye looked quite yellow, and that was probably what made the kids think he was possessed. He never came back, and we never had any weird stuff happen in our school afterwards. This happened around 25 years ago, but I still remember the look in that man's eyes when he shouted at us. Someone did respond to that saying, Pinky Pinky is what they call the toilet troll. A short figure who is crossed between a male and female. Apparently many schools have this. It's so strange that kids would report seeing the same thing in different schools. So that
Pinky was terrorizing schools, dude. Like, there's no school, with our generation, I'm sure nowadays these kids don't really have any. That would actually be a very nice segment to know. Like, do any of these young kids born in the 2000s, did they have any ghosts in their schools? I doubt it though.
I'm sure everyone has their stories.
But Pinky was very, very prominent. Like, there's no one who doesn't know Pinky.
And I think what this person is saying makes sense, saying it's so weird that so many kids from different schools have reported seeing the same thing.
That's actually facts, dude.
Okay. I was in the hostel in grade 10 on an agricultural school in Mpumalanga. There was a lot of stories about the farm that was attached to the school, and one of the stories was of a worker that disappeared along with the tractor he was driving. There's stories that on a moonless night, he can be seen driving around the farm. So one evening, when there was no moon, and a few friends snuck out of the dorms and went to investigate this rumor. As soon as I walked in through the farm gates, 2 headlights appeared, accompanied by the sound of a tractor heading straight for me. When I tried to move out of the way, I couldn't move. The moment the headlights reached me, everything vanished. The light and sound leaving just me and my friends shaking in our slippers. Did you want to carry on reading these? My throat is just getting a bit...
Okay, so the next story reads, not sure if this counts, but I used to live in Northcliffe and would go sit on the rocks overlooking the view on Hearn Street at night. One day I was sitting with friends and we saw and heard a white couple walking up the hill in the moonlight. But as soon as a car came past with lights on, they just disappeared. I thought I was crazy, but I've heard a few people talk about seeing the couple, whether they were driving or walking there. And we all think it could be the spirits of the people who have fallen off the mountain.
There's been a few people that have fallen off Northcliffe Hill, so...
Bro, like I said, like, I don't really believe in ghosts or anything like that. But like, sometimes when you see things and you're like, bro, what the hell just happened? Because I've seen some. So I remember I was driving with a friend. I can't remember the name of the road, but it's basically in Benoni, like in the plots, in the area with all the plots. And this is quite a dark road. So we're driving and obviously my headlights are on and I see something like crossing the road. Like, I don't know what exactly
person it was. Or something big or small.
It looks like a person like running across the road, but not quite. Like, it was black even, right? But like I wasn't seeing a face, just seeing like the movement of a person like running across. And I swear, dude, like I slowed down because I'm like, whoa, because I'm thinking, what's that? But like a quick like slow down, and I was like, oh, that was nothing. So I carry on, and then when I did that, my friend said, did you see something run across? And I was like, yeah, bro. I thought maybe I was seeing things.
Oh, so you both saw it?
Yeah, that's why, because I didn't say anything, because in my head I'm like, oh no, whatever, I'm seeing things. And then he's like, you saw something run across, because he felt the car slow down. So he's like, oh, he must have also seen something.
Yeah.
And I was like,
okay.
Whoa, yeah, I actually did, bro.
That is scary.
It's weird. Like, I just wish I could like explain what it was, because I don't want to just jump and say, oh, that was a ghost.
Slender Man.
Yeah. And I've also seen like, I won't say a UFO, but me and my friend we're having a braai. and literally I see this very bright light in the sky
Yeah.
drop. Like it just came out of nowhere. It went bright, bro. Like it not bright enough to light up the whole sky, but just bright. Like I saw it and I went, whoa. And my friends see me looking at it. So they turn around and then they go, oh, that's a UFO, because they believe in this UFO.
Oh, yeah. So they were just straight
like,
up.
oh, that's a UFO. And I was like, really? And like, yeah. Like we see it all the time, but like obviously I don't believe it's a UFO. So it's stuff like this where I'm like, bro, I wish I could explain it. You know, what is the stuff that I'm seeing? But let's carry on. So this one, okay, here's another person who's like, they're not sure. Not sure if this is spooky, but when I was leaving Wits at night in an Uber on the way to Park Station, I saw these two guys hold a guy on either side of him, on either side by his arms. Oh, so he's more like this. And okay, cool. By his arms. He was in the middle of them. It was clear that he was resisting, but also had accepted his fate. To this day, I don't know what happened. I thought maybe they wanted to steal from him. Jesus, guys, spelling, bro. sorry about. But I thought they wanted to steal from him, or just rob him. But usually thieves take your phone and just leave nonchalantly. So then I thought they specifically wanted him, but what did they want with him? What were they gonna do to him? Poor guy, he was probably murdered in some corner. It was quite maddening to see. CBD Joburg, I've never heard someone say CBD Joburg. CBD Joburg at night is not a place you want to be in. Speaking of, I remember when this Uber used an extremely long way to get to Park Station. I was convinced I was getting kidnapped, had my knife in my hand ready. This was at night too. Another time there was a roadblock and the cops stopped the Uber. I was convinced the Uber was gonna go to jail. We were there for too long. I couldn't get a grip of my surroundings as it was literally at night, but I more or less knew where I was. This too was not too far from Park Station. I was trying to figure out my next move, thinking where can I call another Uber from, as I had my laptop in my bag. Lol, these were crazy times and I'm lucky now nothing went wrong in those occasions, now that I think about it.
I've had that before where I've gotten into an Uber. Sometimes it is like he is just going a quicker way, but there's like, I got into an Uber once and we were driving and then I was like, oh no, we're gonna turn right here. And he was like, no man, just relax.
No, you gotta turn right, bro.
And I was like, no, it's quicker. And he was like, no, don't worry, I know the way we're going. And
nah, bro, your Uber's not supposed to do that. If you tell
and the
them.
rest of the time, dude, I just sat there so quiet. And I think I even just went pale, dude. Because then I started looking at, and I mean, obviously a lot of other cars are going the same direction we're going. But I started looking at other cars. I'm like, oh no, these cars are following us. This guy's planned for them to come and like rob me or something.
Yeah.
I freaked out all the way until he eventually dropped me off home at safe. And I realized he did just take a quicker route.
Oh.
But like at the same time, he never said that or anything. He was just like, no man, relax.
Yo, someone said that to you. I'm like, I'm getting kidnapped, bro.
Yeah.
I know my fate already.
Yeah, I just thought I was going to get robbed. So yeah, you do get scared because people have some bad stories from
Ubers. Well, more so Bolt.
Yeah, more so Bolt than Uber.
Don't use Bolt, people. just saying. You can, but just know the risks are there. Okay, it looks like we're at the end of it now.
Is it?
Yeah. No, I haven't read that last bit.
Well, let's hope this guy's got some better spelling. Years ago, when I was finishing up primary school in 94, some kids at school saw some kind of creature in the bathrooms at the school, and the ground staff said, yes, that's Pinky.
And you remember that one that you told me about the guy about the kids in Zimbabwe, I think, they saw a UFO.
A kid lied to all of them because he wanted to skip Afrikaans class or something. Yeah. So they said they saw like a big metal thing with lights on it spinning, and they said that they saw a dark figure step out and gave them like a message of looking after the earth and not polluting it or something. But I don't know. So they were all saying no, they definitely saw, because they're interviewing them all like 24, 25 years after this, and they all still say, they're like, no, I'm adamant that I saw that. except for the one dude who was like, nah, I made it up.
Yeah. I believe him.
Yeah. So here's another thread though. What is the creepiest South African true story that you know of? We won't go through all of them.
Okay.
This one just seems like it starts quite hectic, so let's go with it. So there's this guy who raped the daughter of one of his close personal friends, even knowing all the time she had AIDS. Luckily, he took a shower afterwards.
Is this Jacob Zuma?
Even creepier. See, there's this other dude, which was completely in love with the first guy, tried to take some attention away from all the shit his true love was facing, and then told the media she actually enjoyed being raped, but the dude thought it was too much, so they broke up.
It's Jacob Zuma. When he...
This sounds like they're just talking about
I think
Jacob
it's just
Zuma.
like trolling. Yeah, no, I remember that time.
Okay, here's a good one.
Sure.
And I don't know if you've watched Devil's Dorp.
Is it a movie?
It's a documentary, a South African one. It's about the cults in Krugersdorp.
Bro, I'm watching so many like true crime stories now. I've come across a few cults. Dude, I don't know, I'm obsessed with that stuff these days.
So this guy says the Krugersdorp cult killings are pretty freaky. It's crazy to think that seemingly normal people could be turned into mass murderers by a woman spouting ludicrous stories. Watch Devil's Dorp on Showmax. So that is what he's referencing, if you haven't already. The Yeovil rapist scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. He was a serial rapist active in the 1980s. He'd break into women's flats and houses. They'd wake up to him in the room holding a knife to their throats, and then he'd rape them multiple times. The guy seemed to be able to break into anything. I remember in one case, he broke in through a second floor balcony. His name was Paulos Fofo and was executed in 1988 or 89. Not much of the internet about him, apart from some articles by one of his victims and his appeal against the death sentence. Okay, that is... So these are less ghost stories. These are...
True crime.
Horrible stories. Yeah. I'd like to hear your guys' stories. I know...
Yeah.
At our school, I mean, no one actually really saw it, but they did say there was a kid who died, and this part was true. A kid died on the hockey court.
I think you told me this.
I think he got hit by a hockey ball or something in the head while practicing. He wasn't wearing his helmet or something. And they say like at a certain time every night, if you go there and you put a hockey ball there in the middle of the court, it would start rolling around as if someone was playing with it. But that was just like I said, a fable. It was just one of those.
Sounds like something else, yeah. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next video.
And please share with us some of your scary stories if you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We would love to hear. But cheers guys.
Cheers.